What's going on, beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing excellent today. I am Carrington Brown, your relation expert. And so listen, y'all, this weekend I was having a conversation with a client. When we first started working together, she was expressing some question marks regarding her marriage. But, you know, shouts out to last Sunday. Was it last Sunday? 2 Sundays ago, being Easter. Right. And she said that the Easter service sparked a new level of faith and belief for her marriage within her. And so there were 2 things that I said to her that I believe that I need everybody to understand who desires marriage. If you desire marriage, if you're in a marriage or you're in a committed relationship thinking about marriage, like there are 2 things that I need you to really understand regarding marriage. And in order for you to really navigate both of these truths properly, you got to be a mature individual. So let's get active, right? So the first thing I let her know is this. And I said, hey, you know, I definitely understand the situation. I gave her some encouragement, some challenges to do over the next 5 to 7 days in her marriage. She was like, oh, that sounded uncomfortable. And what I told her, what I reminded her of was, when you say I do and you say those wedding vows, you're not just saying them to your partner, but you're saying them to yourself, to your partner, and with Christ. So the covenant that you make with your spouse, you're also making that with Christ. And so what I told her is this. Just because you feel like your husband is being a bad husband, it doesn't give you permission to be a bad wife. Right? Just because you feel like your husband is not aligning with his duties and fulfilling his responsibilities and what should be his priority, that does not give you permission to be a bad wife. Why? Because you made a covenant and commitment between you, your spouse, and Christ, which means that no matter what the situation is in your marriage, as long as you're in that marriage, you have a responsibility to navigate that marriage with the responsibilities that have been mandated to you and applied to your life and your role and your title in that marriage. Right? So the first thing I need y'all to understand is this. When you get married, and you're going to have this experience, if you ever feel like your spouse is being a bad spouse, that does not give you permission to be a bad spouse. Right? Next thing is this. When we look at marriage, one thing we have to understand and accept is that the enemy does not like marriage. And as a result of the enemy does not like in marriage, he is going to intentionally, proactively put things in place to try to throw your marriage off. And so the second thing that you have to understand navigating when you're navigating marriage or desiring to pursue marriage is that the enemy is going to max out tearing your marriage down. He is intentionally and proactively going to take a tips to max out destroying your marriage, tearing your marriage down, tearing y'all apart. Why? Because marriage is a reflection of Christ and the enemy hates Christ. Therefore, because your marriage, especially if you're doing it in alignment and right, it's going to look like Christ. He's going to hate that thing and try to tear that thing apart. And so a question you need to ask yourself before you say I do is, hey, am I willing to max out in the area of cultivating, saving, keeping, and protecting my marriage, knowing that the enemy is maxing out on destroying and tearing apart my marriage? Am I willing to go beyond myself? Am I willing to go beyond my comfort zone? Am I willing to go beyond my normal in order to reach a point to where I am intentionally navigating marriage in a way that says I am maxing out to proactively protect, save, keep, and defend my marriage, because the enemy does not like this. The enemy hates this, and he's going to attack it and max out in his attack. And so here's my encouragement, right? If you are an individual that is unwilling to max out and saving, protecting, and keeping your marriage, don't get married, because all you're doing is setting yourself up for divorce, right? So once again, beautiful people, 2 things. When you get married, understand that if ever your spouse is being a bad spouse or you feel like they're being a bad spouse, that doesn't give you permission to be a bad spouse. Second thing is this. The enemy is intentionally going to max out in the area of messing with your marriage, attempting to mess up your marriage. You have to make sure that you're committed proactively to maxing out in the area of protecting and keeping and cultivating and defending and loving your marriage and your spouse. All right? Do them 2 things and you're going to be just fine. All right, adopt those protective mindsets, and you're going to be really good in marriage. All right, so thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope it served you, blessed you. If you know somebody that needed it, go on, click that share button and send them that link, baby. Also, if you don't already, follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at TheCarringtonBrown. If you haven't taken it already, and even if you have taken it already, be sure to click the link in the description box below to take the free Are You Prepared for Marriage quiz. People got that question all day long, but don't really have a tool of actually serving them and getting clarity about where they actually are. Here's a tool. Take the free quiz. It'll take you about 1.5 to 2 minutes to actually answer the questions. You'll get a direct response regarding what your results are, what your ranking, what your rating was, what your grade was, and then you'll also get emails providing you tools on how to navigate what you learned or what you what was pinpointed to you. There we go. As a result of your quiz results, you will get tools on how to actually navigate that and grow and progress in those areas. All right. So thank y'all so much. Hope y'all have a blessed, phenomenal, productive day. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.